More FPL. Today it's time for my Gameweek 5 preview. In this video, I'll briefly review my Gameweek 4 score and provide an update for my mini-league before moving on to discuss the top 3 transfers in for each position so far this game week. I'll finish by outlining my specific plans for this game week and beyond. So let's briefly review my Gameweek 4 score. I had another good week with 74 points. New signing Ronaldo was my captain and got 26 points. Trent also got double figures with a clean sheet, assist and all 3 bonus points. Elsewhere, there was another goal for Salah, an assist for Greenwood, an assist for Shaw, and clean sheets for Sanchez and White. There was a blank for new signing Jota, another blank for Ben Rama, another for Tony, and a first for Antonio, who was also sent off late on, and we'll discuss my plans for him later. Now let's take a look at my mini-league. I returned to the top, but I'm just 4 points ahead of Gareth Geddes, who had a similar squad to mine, and also captain Ronaldo. James Leach dropped to third, a further 15 points back. He didn't have Ronaldo, and captain Salah. Now let's look at the top 3 transfers in so far this week in each position. So let's talk about goalkeepers, starting with Robert Sanchez of Brighton. It's now 2 clean sheets in 4 matches for what looks to be a pretty good defence. After Leicester at home in Game Week 5, there are a few more good fixtures before they come up against Man City and Liverpool. I still think he's one of the best options at 4.5 million. Next is Kasper Schmeichel of Leicester. It's only 1 clean sheet in 4 matches, albeit the last game being against Man City. I'm not too sure why he's proving so popular at the moment. I don't like spending more than 4.5 million on a goalkeeper, in general. Last is Edouard Mendy of Chelsea. It's now 3 clean sheets in 4 matches for the Blues. His price is steep, but he will maybe start more games than any Chelsea defender. As I said before, I tend to always go for budget goalkeepers, as I see better value elsewhere. Now let's talk about defenders, starting with Fernando Marcel of Wolves. Wolves are a team high on my watch list, particularly Marcel and Nelson Semedo on the opposite flank. Despite a difficult first few fixtures, they don't give up many chances, and that continued against Watford. The wing-backs look so attacking and dangerous. Next is Shane Duffy of Brighton. They've been quite good defensively, and he has a good attacking threat. His spot looks secure, particularly at the moment with Adam Webster's injury. He's possibly the best budget option, ahead of Tino Livramento of Southampton. Last is Trent AlexanderArnold of Liverpool. In my opinion, he's the standout defender in the game by some margin, and has now risen to be top point-scoring defender. He's very expensive, but is essentially a right winger who also gets clean sheets, and has very little competition for his starting place. It's 3 assists and 2 clean sheets so far, and they have a good run of fixtures for a while, aside from both Manchester clubs, in Game Week 7 and 9. Now let's talk about midfielders, starting with Paul Pogba of Man United. He got 2 assists against Newcastle, making it an incredible 7 from just 4 matches. The record number of assists in an entire season is 20. Most significantly, I thought his output would go down playing central midfield instead of left wing, but it didn't this week. After a favourable start, United's fixtures do now turn, so I'm still not sure I'd be bringing him in. Next is Conor Gallagher of Crystal Palace, who's already gone up in price. He's really starting to stake a claim for a place in our squads, following up his 2 goals last week with 2 assists this week. It was impressive from Palace in general against Spurs. At just 5.6 million, he could be a great budget option. Palace have mixed upcoming fixtures. Last is DAndre Gray of Everton, who's also already gone up in price. He scored his 3rd goal in a row, and even at 5.7 million, he could be great value for our squads. He's perhaps been a bit fortunate to get so many returns, given his underlying stats haven't been that impressive. But Everton still have good upcoming fixtures, apart from Man United, in Game Week 7. Finally, let's talk about strikers, starting with Cristiano Ronaldo of Man United. A debut brace has meant the transfers keep coming. We still don't know who's on penalties, but I'm expecting it to be Ronaldo, given he takes them for Portugal over Bruno. As mentioned before, United's fixtures do now turn, and Ronaldo was a bit of a flat trap bully in Serie A last season, so I'm probably looking to move him on in Game Week 7 to the next guy on this list. Next is Romelu Lukaku of Chelsea, who's already gone up in price. Despite a huge amount of transfers so far, it's taken a while for this to happen, which suggests new player prices are locked for longer, which may have an impact on Ronaldo too. A brace against Aston Villa makes it 3 goals in 3 games for Chelsea's new signing. Spurs and City in the next 2 mean I'm not looking to bring him in imminently. From Game Week 7 though, Chelsea have a great run, so he'll probably be coming in for me. Last is Patrick Bamford of Leeds. Following Antonio's suspension and the emergence of Dominic Calvert-Lewin's injury, Bamford is the logical choice at that price point if you're looking to replace either one of them. In a tough start to the season, he already has a goal and assist, and Leeds start a much kinder run from Game Week 5. There are murmurs of a possible injury though, so look out for more news on that. So now let's talk about my plans for this game week. Will I be making any transfers? I'm not sure yet. I have 1 free transfer and 1 million in the bank, so I have a few options. I could transfer out Antonio for Bamford or Raul Jimenez, who hasn't returned yet, but Wolves look dangerous going forward and have great upcoming fixtures. The issue with that is that I probably want Antonio back for Game Week 6 anyway. I could transfer another player out to improve my team for this week. Tony would be the obvious option with a tough fixture at Wolves this week, starting off a tougher run in general. I can just about afford Jimenez, but maybe priced out of the move before I want to make it, with Tony potentially dropping. Watford have good fixtures, but Emmanuel Dennis hasn't done anything since Game Week 1. I'd need to see more of Odsonne Edouard of Crystal Palace before moving on him. I could instead get rid of Ben Rama, as they have a tough fixture at Man United. Abdoulaye Doucouré does interest me with Everton's fixtures, and Gallagher could be good in spite of his fixtures. Alternatively, I could roll the transfer and leave myself 2 free transfers going into Game Week 6, which is my preferred option at the moment, given that White and Ayling both have decent fixtures this week. What about starting 11 and captaincy? At the moment, I'm benching Antonio and playing White and Ayling. My bench is looking a bit thin though. With Livramento away at Man City, Gilmour is first bench, with Norwich fans saying he was just rested in the last match, and he has a decent fixture at home to Watford. For captaincy, Salah is a standout option in my squad. What are my longer term plans? I'm probably still playing the wildcard in Game Week 7 to coincide with the Chelsea fixture swing. I'll be looking at Lukaku for Ronaldo to give me a good captaincy option going forward as Man United's fixtures turn. I'll also be looking at Reece James, who looks fairly nailed and attacking, and possibly one more. I was considering Mason Mount, but his benching this week does concern me. I'll be monitoring my West Ham players to see what happens with rotation with the Europa League starting, as they have quite a small squad. I'll post my transfers and final team selection on Twitter once they're done, so follow me at more_FPL for all updates. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Please add your own thoughts and follow-up questions in the comments, and I'll try to get through as many as I can. If you made it to the very end, please destroy the like and subscribe buttons and notification bell to get more FPL.